All right, war number 11 here, the penultimate war of season 24, and we have to win out to secure top 3, or we can't lose, basically. But we're up against ASR here. Now, these guys are historically very, very good. I think they had an off season this season. I don't really have any other commentary than that, but yeah. So I've got Path 1 in Section 1, and then Path 2 in Section 2. And then I am going to be taking that Mole Man mini on Node 53, which is Stun Reflect, Polka Dot Power, and I can't remember what else. But yeah, we're going in here with Apocalypse, Quake, and Human Torch. I didn't need to bring any kind of synergy for Apocalypse because I'm going to be taking this Mr. Sinister on the masochism node. Apocalypse is great for that because masochism, when it triggers, counts as purifying a buff, or I'm sorry, a debuff. And with Apocalypse's purification, accuracy, ability accuracy reduction, you don't have to worry about that. So Apocalypse is great for masochism. And of course, it just allows me to build him up without having to bring in a synergy. So I've got, I think, 3 fights here on these boosts, maybe just these 2. But after last war and the the awful, embarrassing Nova fight, I just didn't want to die here. And because we knew that this was going to be a tough war. I mean, ASR is a very good alliance. I would say that they're definitely a top 3 war alliance. They didn't finish top 3 this time, but anyway. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but at the beginning of the fight, if you're able to charge your heavy to start the fight, like if you hold down your heavy charge when you're entering the fight, and you immediately concuss them, then you're just going to turn off the entire node. And ironically, I think the first person to show that on YouTube was KT1, who is in ASR. So it's just a neat trick. That was some awesome Quake play there. Just getting whacked a little bit. But yeah, so this node usually is Vigor and... or wait, is it? It's Arc Overload and Vigorous Assault, which means that at the start of the fight and every 20 seconds after, the defender is going to gain a regeneration buff, and anytime they are regenerating, they're fully unblockable. So Quake is really, really awesome on this node if you're able to Quake the defender. And Champion is, I think, just what kind of diversity placement here. Another great counter for this node is Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is medium, Champion is large, so he does benefit from Protect. So if you were to get to an SP3 with Dr. Doom, trigger that Fury, then maybe you can trigger Protect. I don't really know, but it doesn't really matter. Super easy fight. Alright, so this one, again, it's Masochism. Indomitable, it doesn't really mean anything, just means you can't reverse his healing, but it's not really a big deal. So yeah, I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to parry like normal. Parry. He's not able to shrug that off because of my Purification accuracy ability reduction. I don't really have any way to heal block him, but you guys will see that with the burst damage that you get with Apocalypse's specials when the opponent is suffering a debuff, which of course they can't purify even on Masochism because of Apocalypse, I'm going to get plenty of damage. Now, I wasn't 100% sure, and I did kind of figure out throughout this fight that probably the best way, if you're just trying to get damage as quickly as possible, is to recycle SP1s with Apocalypse, because his beam hits are not likely to crit, and you'll get that extra burst damage anyway. The SP2 I go with here, but you guys can see that when it crits, he's just going to regenerate. Actually, only crit one of those hits. But at least now I have 2 additional debuffs. So once I throw my SP1, I'll activate 2 more debuffs. And then I'll get bonus damage for all 4 of my personal debuffs. So there you go. And look at all this bonus damage. I mean, that's awesome damage there. So yeah, this fight is just a very simple fight with Apocalypse. It's pretty much like dueling Mr. Sinister with Apocalypse. So exactly the same fight. And because I have all 4 of my debuffs at this point, the best move is just to go for SP1s, obviously. And and boom, fight's over. So now I've got Apocalypse at 4 genetic code after that fight, which is perfect. I'm going to be using Apocalypse for 2 more fights. I've got a rank 3 Kingpin. I think it's rank 3. And then I've also got a rank 3 Mole Man. So this fight, originally I assigned a Thing here. Thing, of course, is shock immune. This has EMP modification. And Thing can't be nullified. So, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about like a high sig, long shot, auto-nullifying his dexterity buffs if you're trying to bait out a special. So I thought that that was the safest option. I'm not really sure. Obviously, we didn't get it done, and so I'm going to go in here with my rank 2 Human Torch because of the fact that we already gave it death to this fight, and the only fight that I intended to use Human Torch for is a Professor X. Very, very easy with Human Torch. I did. No, apparently I didn't do Flame On. Okay, I thought that I did Flame On. I guess I didn't just because Long Shot is obviously being a mystic. I'm going to stay at 20 temperature basically the entire time. So, yeah, that makes sense. But, yeah, this fight is just all about I don't want to trigger buffs because of EMP modification and, of course, Mystic Dispersion and his ability at high sig to automatically nullify buffs. So, it's just going to be blocking everything. But it's not a difficult fight with Human Torch. It's very, very fast. And I think probably going forward, I'll just assign Human Torches to long shots on that node, just to be sure. All right, and then there's the Professor X. I'm going to be fighting him with Human Torch. I am going to use Flame On for this fight. And it's kind of a similar situation. Like, I don't really need to use Flame On. Human Torch is going to completely destroy this dude. With or without Flame On, but it is a rank 3, and just to be on the safe side, and since I'm not going to be using Human Torch again, and the other Human Torches that we have assigned on this in attack, I'm not going to need to place a pre-fight for them. We've already got all the pre-fights mapped out. So in this fight, I'm just going to completely ignore specials altogether. I'm going to ignore the strike counter suppression node because, the SP2 would be nice with Human Torch, but with Flame On, I don't need it. So I don't have to worry about Falter, of course, because my temperature is going to always stay above 10, and that means that he won't be able to miss. And you guys can see he's got 9 Nova Flames on him. I was trying to bait out that special attack when I had a lot of Power Stings on him, but, it doesn't really matter, so I think that Human Torch is probably going to be my next rank 3 science champ. I've got Immortal Abomination and Captain America. Human Torch is so strong. The only reason I wouldn't, and really the only reason I guess to this point I've been kind of quote-unquote undecided, is because we already have, like, a half dozen probably, maybe more than that, rank 3 Human Torches in my battle group, and for Loki, we probably have somewhere between 15 and 20 rank 3 Human Torches. So he is definitely one of the best war attackers in the game, and we're pretty much covered on that. But he's also good enough that, he's kind of like Magneto, Quake. You can't really have enough of him because he's so useful for so many different fights. So, all right, here I have a Kingpin. I do actually like this placement for Kingpin. Somewhat, like, I don't think it's the best placement for him. It's probably not top 5, but it's not bad placement for him. With the suppression and his ability just to convert debuffs to rage, and a lot of champs use their specials for most of their damage. But Apocalypse here, it's not really an issue. I am going to throw my SP1 as often as I can here. And the way that I like to play the strike counter nodes is to always start with a heavy, and then I go full 4 or 5 hit combo. You guys can see I'm still above 0 in all 3 of my strike counters, and then I can go medium into the SP1, and I can just manage it that way. Now I'm not going to be able to manage it that easily for the rest of the fight, but I like to start strike counter with that rotation. It's just easier for me to count, kind of. Anyway. Alright, so of course he won't be able to purify any of my debuffs or convert my debuffs into rage stacks, which is awesome. So in general, Apocalypse is really good for Kingpin. Obviously, don't have to worry about him purifying the stun either, or converting that into rage. So Apocalypse is really good. Here you guys see that I'm down to 0 in 2 of my strike counter categories. And yeah, alright, so I back off, do a little dash back, SP1, quote-unquote intercept, not a real intercept, but I do that, get off a reparry there, and at this point for the rest of the fight, I'm not going to have any power. So, you know, I planned for that. It's not a huge deal. I have more than plenty attack. But, yeah, it's just something I'm going to have to be aware of. And just, you know, I always try to bait out the SP1 against Kingpin if I'm able to. So he is a bit of a beefcake, obviously, physically, and also he's got a pretty large health pool, I think. So, alright, we finally get him down. And now I'm just going to do some taxiing for TJ, who's going to take out this Vision Arcus on node 50 here. Alright, and he waxes him with Dr. Doom. Super easy fight. And then here I've got this Mole Man on node 53. So I am using Apocalypse here. I think the Omega Red is probably the best matchup. But Lizer is really the only Omega Red player in my battle group that that is assigned Omega Red fights. And she was kind of stuck behind a really tough path that we wanted to have unlinked. We didn't want them to have to deal with the global for that, so she wasn't able to help with Mini Island anyway. Apocalypse is also really, really good for this fight. The caveat is you need to use a Power Start 1 boost. Otherwise, Apocalypse, his only way to get polka dot power is to inflict a bleed on his heavies. But doing a block break against Mole Man is really, really dangerous unless he's stunned. And of course, you don't want to stun here on Stunning Reflection. So you kind of get the idea. But with the Power Start 1 boost, I can throw my SP1. That poisons him, which allows me to stun him. And then I can get off a heavy attack to add a couple of additional debuffs. And now I'll be gaining power from polka dot power. Now that was a mistake, in my opinion. Throwing Apocalypse's SP1 does not refresh the debuffs that if he's already inflicted the debuffs with his SP1. So I should have just been patient, continued to build my power to an SP2. I didn't, which is okay. I'm going to let those debuffs fall off. I'm going to do the fake intercept, dash back special intercept there. Reapply the poison. Now I can get a stun off if he rushes into me. Going to get the heavy. And now I'm going to hold my power until I get an SP2. I do want to bait out this SP2. And for whatever reason, Mole Man's being super stingy in this fight. Usually he's pretty, I don't know about aggressive, but he's pretty willing to throw his specials. I decide just to throw the SP2. And with the power back boost that I'm running, that gets me to 1.5 bars power. And then, yeah, I mean, that's basically the game plan here. Let him throw his special, and then continue to rinse my specials, and that's it. Very, very easy fight with the Power Start 1 boost, with Apocalypse. And that's it for the war for me. So we did end up winning this war. It was really close. So, yeah, looking good heading into the final war of the season. Battle Group 3 had it's one of its roughest wars of the season in this war. But Lags with the silver, Dilly with the gold card, and then Brent, of course, hogging all the platinum cards. He got to use Sorcerer Supreme, got a boss solo up. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next video.